There are things that I've stumbled across in my tenure online that sometimes I think I would give almost anything to forget, to get out of my brain that I've been negatively impacted by having stumbled across. Especially as someone like myself who is an empath, seeing people suffering in any way, shape, or form, seeing any sort of animal suffering, any human beings suffering, pains me. And like so many others out there have been times in my tenure where I've given in to morbid curiosity and I've seen photos and videos of things. Most of the time, I would not be able to get through them. Um, of people coming to harm and things of that nature. And I've also had people send me such things, in a vindictive fashion. Oh, here, click on this. This is cool. Check this out. And then, once you realize what it is, it's like, well, goddamn that person to hell for sending it to me. Never speaking to them again, blocking them, done with them, that kind of thing. And I just, in my time online, there have been things that I've seen, videos and such. Um, a man killing himself, you know, in one instance. And that visual is seared into my brain disturbingly so. I can only imagine what soldiers who come back from the front lines with PTSD have to endure, you know, with the lives they have had to take for the sake of freedom and such like that. It defies my every sense of being. I just don't understand how people can be so callous and can just simply sometimes harm others, murder others, hurt others, torture them. One such video was of 4 women being beheaded at the hands of a terrorist organization, and it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, right. This is not going to be real, or it's going to cut off, or whatever like that. The morbid curiosity got the better of me, and I watched enough of it to know that it was real, and I clicked it off immediately once that was certain. And it highly disturbed me, and I feel pain and I feel yearning, and I just don't understand. I mean, and there are people who are morbidly fascinated with serial killers and people who kill others and get off on it and the psychology behind that. And there's a certain part of me that doesn't get it. Yes, there is a point of fascination with how can a human mind be so bankrupt, be so corrupt of compassion, of empathy, of sympathy. But beyond that, I've always been empathetic. I've always been able to put myself in other people's shoes. And the one area where I could never even remotely approach accomplishing that is in the mind of a killer, in the mind of someone who would torture others, who would seek someone else's death. Taking it far beyond that all too often spoken phrase, oh, I could kill you. I'm going to kill that guy. Well, there are people who say it and mean it. And then there are people disgustingly, disturbingly who actually carry it out. Stories I've read, news stories, video clips, images I've seen of the despicable nature of humanity, sometimes it's so hard to hold on to hope. And sometimes I just feel like I would give almost anything to wipe those things out of my mind. I'm somebody who spends a large majority of my life without regret. Even the mistakes I've made, even the poorest of choices that I've made and suffered for, I wouldn't change it because they all make me who I am today. But in almost every instance where I've given into that morbid curiosity and or have been trolled and experienced those negative images and clips and whatever like that, in almost every instance, I don't feel in any way like it has an impact on my life for the better. I already know that stuff exists. I already know how despicable humanity can be unto itself. I don't need to see it firsthand to know that. And it's not going to make me seek to be any better than I already am for having experienced those things. It's just, it disturbs me, it unsettles me. And then to think there are websites and people out there that get off on seeing such content. Never mind the people doing it, enacting it, murdering and hurting others. How about all the people out there that actually watch this stuff and joke about it like it's, oh my God, did you see that? Did you hear the neck snap? And the fuck is wrong with this world sometimes? I don't know. And sometimes I really just want to forget.